It's a lie which falls apart because it's not built
But
on foundation.
you are
so
for
that
women.
so that if a woman comes out and says,
Yeah.
I'm for women's lives matter, and it's really men, then she's really screwing the shit up because she should go and say, you know what, you got something hanging there. You're not a woman.
Right.
So,
yeah.
so the
They
point
should be
being
doing
is that what I'm saying is that that's what I'm talking about, the layering behind it.
No,
What
but
we're missing
But
the
there-
number.
you are right. There is layering behind it.
Right, but what I'm
This is
saying-
why when we say, when an Asian goes up there, when they say Asians for Black Lives Matter, they
Yeah,
have
but-
just separated themselves
From black. From black.
100%.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that they're still contributory negligence to them going out there to make those statements.
Okay,
yes.
but, all right.
Yeah, because
but
because the layered
remember,
part, because the
but-
layered
but
part,
okay.
because wait a minute, because the layered part behind that is that we are still behind the process of what Black Lives Matter, which is really the process of us not being shot down in the street for being
Okay,
stateless,
but the
which is
issue-
what the problem was to begin with.
But the-
because
but
as they're
that's the
shooting you down
issue.
as a stateless person, that's why this isn't a national crime, because we're still calling ourselves black. So the fact of the matter is that that's what I'm saying. It's all layered. I'm talking about the fact that a cop shooting a guy down because he's stateless, and then you're talking about we're standing up against that, and then we've got a group. But then what you're realizing is that they're never going to be held accountable for that because they're not really shooting a person; they're shooting just an object.
Right.
And then you've got a group of people that are backing you on that.
But they're not backing
But they're not backing
them.
it. That's the point that we're trying to make. Not because they're standing out there means they're backing it.
Because remember, the shooting is
if
going on
they
out
were
there.
backing it, they
I could
would
be
say,
standing
"Yo,
over here. I
for
could be
Black
standing
Lives
over
Matter."
here
If they
saying
were
that.
But I'm agreeing with you. But that's what I'm saying. That then again, it falls through as we're watching this unfold
Yeah.
in the nation that people are actually allowing this shit. Like the first person that guy said Asian guys for black, someone should have said, "What the fuck? But you're yellow."
But
Right, exactly.
Right, but they didn't.
But they didn't.
So
So,
what I'm saying-
everything is what it is.
they know
But which is a fraud.
Somebody
No,
can't
front,
say
it's an
now that they
opportunity
didn't.
for them to say we're not black.
Yeah.
Or yellow.
That's what I'm saying. For who to say that?
The Asians.
For the Asians to say
Islam,
I'm Asian, for the Hindustani to say I'm Hindustani, for the Punjabi to say I'm Punjabi, for whoever
And
to
for
say
the blacks to stand up and say the Moors.
Okay, but
yeah,
are they
but
doing
Right?
that
For
though?
the blacks to so-called stand up and say the Moors.
Are they doing that?
But what I'm
Yeah,
saying
but
is
in that jurisdiction,
Hold on.
that's not allowed there.
Is anybody hungry? I'm gonna grab some food. So it's
No,
okay if I
No,
can
we're
grab
good, fam. We're
a
good.
big
Yeah,
pizza.
we
Just bring
already
it.
got some.
Pizza.
you know,
Do they have veggie
Veggie,
pizza?
I'm gonna bring it. Come on, you know I'm a veggie.
we don't have
Do it.
Well, we've already eaten.
I mean, I had some, but you know.
Yeah, maybe we should find out because maybe we want to make because he doesn't
Couple
want to
more
waste
people
food.
might come
Oh,
out.
yeah.
You ordered it?
No, so I'm gonna go order. If you guys want it, I can still get one pizza.
I'll take a veggie slice.
Yeah, what's it? Yeah.
Okay, so go on.
Get a small
Sorry,
one.
no, I'll get
No,
a
it's
big.
all good, Mark.
I'll get a big
Come on,
one.
so let me throw 3 cents in there. You just there was a good flow going on there. Let me throw 3 cents in there. Okay. I hope it's more than 2
Yeah, you go five. You can go five.
No, go 7 cents. Go 7 cents.
Seven.
The way I look at it is, all these other nationalities are saying, listen, all right, we came over here, but we're dealing with the demonic or democratic so-called government, right?
Right.
So they have to make certain
Concessions.
to get over here
Right.
and
Certain agreements
and
and
to be
whatever.
fruitful.
Right.
So they can't come out and say, listen, dummies, you guys are Moors. They can't say that.
Because like we were talking,
Yeah.
we missed this point. What they're saying is they'll be sent back.
It's not exactly. So
Right.
what they're doing is they're sending a signal like, yo,
Yeah.
they're saying Sikhs for Black Lives Matter, meaning
In other words,
this is my nationality.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Yeah.
So to me, I'm looking at it like they're sending signals all day, but they
Yeah.
can't come out and say straight up,
Yeah.
like, listen,
Because listen-
you're a Moor.
they know that if
Okay, brothers, I think we've gotten to that point. I guess where my point of contention is, you understand that where I'm still looking at it is that you still got this infrastructure of people who are allowing this shit to go down right in front of us again, and that's why I was saying.
The only people allowing it, I think, is
I'm talking about the
Moors
sort
in
of
general.
because this is one of the things, and this gets into sort of other social dynamics. If I stand on the street there and look up, 50 people walking by, 45 of them are at least going to stop and look up. This is what's going on with this Black Lives Matter. You've got a couple of people who've made a deal and everyone's jumping on, so there's a mob. sort of mentality.
Bystander effect. Yeah.
Right, so we
Yeah.
understood that. So my issue being that we understand that those higher ups know exactly what's going on,
Of course.
and they've been continuing to
Yes.
let this evolve. But that's why I was saying to you, why shouldn't we be showing up at one of those events where you got to know that this bystander effect is really what's going on? Because it's not the fact that we don't understand what's really going on. Well, hold on, just so that we don't understand what's really going on. What my question is why is it that we still have these spokesmen, these COINTELPRO guys who are still fighting this fight, knowing what we know in 2016, and still allowing this, and not having a couple of fezzes up in the room somewhere.
But they're not done with that.
But that's the elite. We don't. But what I gotta imagine is out of that crew of 3,000, let's say Black Lives Matter, you gotta know that 2,000 of them probably, if they got this information, probably 1,000 of them would probably switch over.
I mean,
Right?
But
No, you see
let's
what
put
you're
like
saying.
this.
But wait a minute, is that any different than showing up to the unity thing?
No, we're calling the unity thing.
We call it
That's not
unity.
somebody else's stuff.
That's our shit.
That's
But
our
I agree
stuff.
with that, but
That's
that,
our
but
shit.
that's what I was
That's
saying.
We invited.
That's our
Right,
jurisdiction.
but I was jumping it to the next level, that part of our work should be getting out there to those environments too.
Well, okay, let's use going to the anti-racism directorate as an example.
Right.
Fez is up, right? Shifter came up and said, "What's up?" Because Shifter knows what's up, right? We're talking about, you know, let's say 600 people there,
Right.
right? That I was evident there. Like nobody can say they didn't see the guy with the fez there, because I was there,
Right.
right? Shifter said what's up. Brother Mateen, who's Muslim, who I know, and he knows that he's not black and all that type of stuff, came and said what's up. The sister who ran the hair show, she said what's up. And the European who gave supreme honors because he seen the fez and he was a Turk and he knew exactly what the hell was up.
That brother was just
Right?
man.
4 people out of 600 people saw something different and actually did something, and 3 of the 4 people I knew
They
already.
already knew them.
And they already know what we're on and all that stuff. So this is what we're saying about going to those, yeah, we can go to those venues, but in those jurisdictions, they have their freaking they have their witchcraft going in those jurisdictions. You're not
Well,
cracking none of these people.
But what's evident even in your statement is the mere fact that you walked into a room with 600 people and only 4 people and 3 of them who knew you, even paid you any mind, is
Actually 5 though. Somebody, but that person needs.
actually proves the damage that has been done by this sort of colonization over years,
Right.
like the millennia. Right?
Okay.
So,
It's,
but-
like you said, witchcraft. It's like, it's maritime law.
But that-
So everything is a ship.
right?
So if you're going on to another ship, that's another set of
So you make sure you
rules, whatever
Yeah.
that you got. You're
you
dealing
make
with.
sure you proclaim who you are in that on that ship. This is why we go back to the Asians for Black, is they are basically saying, listen, I'm not black, I'm an Asian, but I'll support you.
Because
Right?
the other side of it,
Well,
when you talk about the denationalization, right, on their side, right, also too that if they say Asian, we don't know what nationality is there. Could be Philippines there,
That's what
could be Cambodians there,
But that's
could
what I
be
was,
whatever.
I was getting at
But-
in that.
but that's not
But here's where I see, and just cut you, this is where I saw the real angle behind Black Lives Matter. What we understand is there's these different camps. The camps are being that the Pope was basically said, hey, I'm cutting my connection with you guys, right? That's what he's saying to the ship in general.
Yeah.
The ship is still running its game because there's too much money and there's too much for it to fail, right? That's where I see, where I see that part coming at it from. But then what I'm sensing is that they also know that it's time for them to start cutting the ranks. That's what they've been doing. They've been picking us off one by one. Right? Not that they haven't been doing that since time, but it seems that things have been accelerated now, right? What's going on is you've got this world sort of, you've got this worldliness now that you never used to have. A person in Russia now can be seeing a YouTube video of a man being strangled out on the streets of Harlem that you never used to see back in the day,
Yeah.
right? Same thing with a man in a village in Nigeria can be saying the same thing and be going, what the hell, that's my, and he can look at that man and go, and look at his brother and say,
Yeah, that's my- that's my
we're
brother.
connected
Right.
somehow, we might be separated.
Right.
So in my mind, what I realize is what's been happening is the Black Lives Matter birth is to sort of give the slave his rights. That's what that's really about. That's Freddie, and that's what I was talking about when we were talking about it in our meeting earlier, which is that anyone who wants to jump onto the so-called rights of Black Lives Matter, which all of a sudden becomes another corporate entity,
It is.
right? With an umbrella.
Yeah.
If I'm Black Lives Matter, you can't touch me because I'm supposed to have. So what's separating you from me when we're both the same color, so to speak, right?
Mhm.
Like if we're using those parlances, right? But now all of a sudden I'm Black Lives Matter, so that now I've got some further. It's like almost like another civil rights sort of umbrella, right? But really, it isn't because really what it's doing is it's the worm on the end of the hook. And once you grab onto that, you've now re-signed that agreement, that 25-year agreement to say I'm a slave again.
Yeah, but again, they don't. The fact that they're backing, the fact that they're part of Black Lives Matter is they're already in the fishbowl. They're already on the plate.
Right.
Just saying Black Lives Matter. They're not casting no reels and reeling people in at that point. By the time when you see somebody say Black Lives Matter, right? And they say, okay, we're gonna shut down the street or whatever,
Right.
and people are driving through those people
Black Lives
with no
Matter.
care in the world,
Yeah.
like they don't even care. Straight drive through people. People getting run over, people under the car getting run over. There ain't no police chasing those people on the street. How come no police is chasing those people on the street after they run over people?
But they didn't.
Watch all those
You see
people.
that happen?
Yeah.
You saw videos? People getting
What? At Black Lives Matter?
What?
I didn't see
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Go on YouTube, man.
Run over.
Yeah. Flying over cars.
Run over. People getting the
Brutal.
like, yo,
Yeah.
no police chasing those people who just
Plowing
ran over
through those
someone.
people, man.
No. When was this?
Bro, it's happened.
You look up YouTube, man. Black
Just
Lives
go
Matter
watch it on
ran
YouTube.
over.
Right? So my
point then, my point though again then, right? That comes back to my point that you're proving the fact that they're not real people.
Yeah.
Yes, we know that they're not real people.
Right. So then the Asiatic who is then claiming his allegiance to that is really
But he's
claiming
not
his
claiming his
allegiance.
But
allegiance
he's
to
not
that.
feeling his allegiance.
He's saying, I'm a national. Nationals are getting killed, and then the nationals are saying we're black.
Right.
Okay, so
But then the other
so-
national is saying I'm standing up for you, standing up for not being a national.
No, the national is standing up for their own personal.
Within
We know
that
that
statement.
something's wrong
I see,
here.
yeah.
Something's wrong with this picture,
I see.
right? Because Asians getting shot up, choked out on the corner. No Sri Lankans getting choked out on the corner. Nobody else who has nationality getting choked out on the corner. Even if we say, you know what, we're not going to say what our nationality is. We're going to say what our geographical location is for Black Lives Matter. They're still not getting choked out on the corner. So the individuals who are getting it are not seeing that they're being told to their face
Yeah.
that you can't claim to be something that you're not. But what we know, like what you're saying with the layering, is that the reason why there's the layering is because they're going to lose their whatever it is that they came over here, whether war in their country,
Exactly.
and then they came over here, so now they're contracted with whatever corpse that brought them here, right? Because they're going to denounce their whatever it is, wherever they come from. But the thing that they can do is go back home. If they, they can call China, I'm trapped here.
Mhm.
And China would send for them to come back home. They don't need our airport, our planes, US planes, Canada planes, whoever's stuff. They have their own stuff that they can get back. If it comes down to it being that serious.
Yeah, they're going back home. No problem.
They're going back home, simple, just like what you were saying. But if the people are saying that they're content in the denationalized position, and they're gonna fight on that platform, the denationalized platform. Other people who are gonna lend their support to them, but they're not backing it 100%. They're just lending them some of their support. The people who are lending them some support are gonna proclaim that they're not that. So when they go there, they don't fall into jurisdiction of being misclassified with those people, because they already see what those people are getting. There's a track record to show that, how come nobody else is not getting reparations? Nobody else is not getting reparations. They got stuff done to them, not even as bad as what so-called black people got.